it going? Patrick, Conservative Rap. And in this video, we're going to be talking about more financial news. I find it fascinating. Clips that talk about scandal, gossip, political intrigue, or the sort of either on the left, the victimhood, or on the right, the sort of, uh, you know, castigation of the left is just pure imbecilic lost fools. That gets a lot of traction. I've realized not many of us pay attention to the news that affects us financially and economically. As you may be seeing, if you're paying attention to the markets, these are very sort of interesting, let's say, times. And we are transitioning out of the old economic system that exploits America and repositioning ourselves to a new economic system where we may, in fact, be free from the castigation and subjugation of even the Federal Reserve. So it's very important we pay attention to this, and I'm going to cover a few things here just as a recap. Again, it'll be a recurring theme for us on this channel. This is from Kanakoa the Great on X, and I would recommend giving him a follow. Watch a 40-year compilation of Donald Trump speaking out against NAFTA, the WTO, and other trade deals that have exploited American consumers and devastated U.S. manufacturing. Quote, when you put a tax on Japan for the products that they're selling, you'll bring in hundreds of billions of dollars to this country, which can then go to building our inner cities instead of giving Japan free military defense. You charge them for what they're getting, and you bring in hundreds of billions of dollars. If the right person asked, they would gladly pay because they'd have to. The fact is you don't have free trade. We think of it as free trade, but right now, you don't have it. We let Japan come in and dump everything right into our markets. If you ever go to Japan right now and try to sell something, forget about it. Just forget about it. It's almost impossible. They don't have laws against it. They just make it impossible. They come over here, they sell their cars, VCRs, they knock the hell out of our companies. And hey, I have tremendous respect for the Japanese people. I mean, you can respect somebody that's beating the hell out of you, but they're beating the hell out of this country. It's tough to build housing for people when you're losing $200 billion a year. And what I'm saying is the United States is systematically being ripped off by many of the wealthiest countries in the world. When you look at Saudi Arabia, Kuwait, and various other oil-producing countries, you'll see their lifestyles beyond belief because we give them freedom and they give us nothing. I'm saying I want the money so that we can put it into Harlem, so that we can give the money back to education because that's the big picture. In Kuwait, they live like kings. We make it possible for them to sell their oil, and yet they're not paying us. Why aren't they paying us 25% of what they make? Look at how we opened up the Persian Gulf. Most of the oil goes to Japan. We opened up the Persian Gulf for Japan to get oil for Saudi Arabia, for Kuwait to make money. Why aren't they paying us for this? NAFTA has ripped apart the heart of this country, signed by Bill Clinton. It's been probably the worst trade deal, the worst economic trade deal ever signed by any country anywhere in the world. I want free trade, but it's got to be fair trade. It's got to be good deals for the United States. I was asked recently, well, what's your definition of trade? And I say, make good deals for the United States and ideally make great deals for the United States. These horrendous trade deals have destroyed New York State. They've destroyed Pennsylvania, Michigan. Look at what's going on in Michigan. The car companies are moving into Mexico in particular. It's unbelievable. China's just devalued its currency. They're basically saying, we're really ripping you off big time. And believe me, they're taking our jobs. And China's not the only one. You look at other countries and they're all doing the same thing. They're making all of our products. We're not manufacturing anything. They're selling it to us. They take our money and they loan it back to us. All right, next from Time Magazine, or Tablet Magazine, rather. Why tariffs are good. The claim that tariffs are inherently misguided and inevitably harmful doesn't stand up to scrutiny, especially when it comes to U.S. trade with China. So this article is excellent. It talks about Trump reigniting his tariff policies, emphasizing their role in restoring defense critical industries and addressing trade imbalances. He's implemented tariffs on China, Canada, Mexico, as you know, while advocating reciprocal trade measures. Despite criticism from his chaotic approach, tariffs are increasingly used to globally protect domestic industries from state-subsidized imports, particularly from China. Countries like Canada, the EU, and India have imposed high tariffs on Chinese goods, including electric vehicles and steel, to prevent economic deindustrialization. The Biden administration also applied tariffs and restrictions on Chinese products, citing intellectual property theft and risk to U.S. supply chains. China dominates global manufacturing, producing significant shares of steel, automobiles, ships, and medical supplies. Its trade relationships with the U.S. reflects the reliance on Chinese goods, while the U.S. exports raw materials like soybeans and petroleum. The resurgence of tariffs highlights efforts rather by industrial nations to preserve their manufacturing capabilities and resist economic dependence on China. Next, from the Daily Caller, a major backer of green energy admits again that solar and wind power alone can't reliably keep the lights on. And this is BlackRock CEO Larry Fink. He was a longtime advocate of green energy, and he acknowledged in his 25 annual letter that wind and solar energy are alone unreliable without significant advancements in storage tech. So he emphasized the need for energy pragmatism, advocating nuclear power as a key dispatchable energy resource. But he highlighted the potential of small modular reactors, which are safer, cheaper, and more versatile than traditional nuclear plants. So while BlackRock continues to heavily invest in renewable energy, Fink himself noted that the $300 billion investments in traditional energy firms reflecting client mandates. He also pointed out that China's focus on nuclear energy as a part of its decarbonization strategy. So Fink's shift in tone comes amid criticism of BlackRock's environmental, social, and corporate governance efforts, right? That whole ESG campaign, which faced scrutiny from lawmakers and led to the firm's exit from the Net Zero Asset Managers Initiative earlier this year. His letter underscores a balanced approach to energy transition, blending renewables with reliable dispatchable sources like nuclear. Lastly, or I should say second to lastly, this is just the news. Congressman says Trump's rare earth minerals plan could spur manufacturing boom in Rust Belt. So in 2023, China dominated global production to strategic minerals, accounting for nearly 70% of output and 90% of rare earth processing. Congressman Tom Tiffany highlighted President Trump's plans to expand U.S. production of critical minerals through an executive order aiming to boost domestic manufacturing, particularly in the Rust Belt. So Tom emphasized the importance of mining resources locally to support nearby manufacturing, citing the Midwest's rich mineral deposits. China's recent ban on exporting key minerals like gallium and germanium to the U.S. underscores the urgency for reducing reliance on foreign supply chains. All right, so hopefully this makes sense. We're talking about tariffs, we're talking about trade, we're talking about energy. What we're really talking about fundamentally is a restructuring of over decades of exploitation. I'd say it's been, if you think about it from the Federal Reserve perspective, at least 1913, but like there was Reagan's administration, and he did a lot of good things. Unfortunately, without some of the gutting of some of the deep state, they unfortunately just amplified and moved things forward from there. This from Global Newswire. Hut 8 and Eric Trump launched American Bitcoin to set a new standard in Bitcoin mining. Hut 8 Corp has partnered with Eric Trump and Donald Trump Jr. to launch American Bitcoin, a subsidiary focused on industrial scale Bitcoin mining and building a strategic Bitcoin reserve. So Hut 8 contributed its mining infrastructure for an 80% stake in the new company, which aims to become the world's largest and most efficient Bitcoin miner. Eric Trump serves as strategy officer, and Hut 8 will provide infrastructure and operational support. The venture seeks to expand Bitcoin mining capacity while aligning with decentralized finance goals. So again, guys, I know a lot of different subjects. Think about the grand chessboard and then using cryptocurrencies as an additional reserve currency in light of that. I'll look forward to more shortly. And again, this golden age that we're stepping into, it's not going to be easy. It's a transition from one reality to another, which is, I think a wake-up call for us in terms of how much we've been exploited and what to look forward to. Check out the links below for more. Remember, the rhymes are on Instagram and TikTok, and look forward to more shortly. Thanks and take care.